Well, throughout his Africa trip, the U.S. Secretary of State has found himself in the rather difficult position of explaining President Donald Trump's hazy policy on Africa and defending Trump's derogatory comments towards African countries. In Addis Ababa, CGTN's Guru Mchala sought to find out if the U.S. president would be making a public apology to Africans over those comments.
At the moment, there is no clear policy towards Africa from President Donald Trump's administration. Does that bother you? Do you want more from the U.S. administration at the moment? Number two, Mr. Tillerson, you've made a statement about China, saying that China encouraged dependency, utilized corrupt deals, and endangered Africa's natural resource. Is it something that you want to say again, and what's the base of that? And Mr. Chair, do you agree with the comments of Mr. Tillerson? Final question. President Donald Trump, we've heard, has called Africa a shithole and Africans. This is something that Africa is still digesting. Do you agree with that? And do you believe President Donald Trump owes Africans an apology? Thank you very much.
I think the United States commitment to Africa is quite clear in terms of the importance we place on the relationship. The President himself wrote a personal letter to the chairperson reaffirming the importance of this relationship from the standpoint of all aspects that I covered in answering a previous question. With respect to China's approach, as I've said to others around the world, we are not in any way attempting to keep Chinese investment dollars out of Africa. They are badly needed. However, we think it's important that African countries carefully consider the terms of those investments. And we witness the model that the Chinese follow. They do not bring significant job creation locally. They don't bring significant training programs that enable African citizens to participate more fully in the future. And oftentimes the financing models are structured in a way that the country, when it gets into trouble financially, loses control of its own infrastructure or its own resources through default. So our message is for countries to consider carefully what the terms of those agreements are and not forfeit any elements of your sovereignty as you enter into such arrangements with China. We welcome Chinese participation, but we hope they will follow international rules, international norms, and respect the sovereignty of countries and respect the need to develop the citizens of those countries and create a future for the people of those countries as well.
Oui, tout à fait. Yes, I confirm that I received a letter dated 25 January written by President Trump to myself, and which I have also copied to all the leaders of Africa. And I believe that this incident is of the past. Africa, and with a visit of Secretary of State Tillerson, and the evidence of the relations between Africa and the United States is personified through his visit. I believe reasonably this partnership has produced results. It is useful for both parties, whether in the area of trade or investment, or whether it is peace and stability in Africa.